in the summertime, I was making videos showing what I was seeing, right? And I'll get into the topic here of omission and commission, because basically what I was seeing was like I was watching something happening with these movements, these so-called social justice movements that I thought were nefarious. I thought that some of the stuff was freaking crooked. I was like, dude, like, if you're about social justice for black people, why are you killing black cops and black men and black kids and stuff like that? It just was weird, right? Well, when I was looking at it, I was basically just telling you what I was seeing, and what that equated to was me making videos of the summertime, just showing you, hey, yo, this is what I'm noticing. Do you notice the same thing? And what ended up happening was, just on my little Facebook page and other platforms, there were communities of people who were being brought together because we all were saying the same thing, like, this is freaking weird. It doesn't seem right. Like, what they're saying doesn't seem to be making too much sense. And so we kind of were like the people, we're the weird people going, hey, what the heck's going on? So there's like a what the heck's going on kind of groups out there, right? And then you find out that some of the side media, the ones that weren't really a part of the NBC, ABC, CBS's, and some of the broadcasters, some of the newscasters on Fox, they were basically pointing out the same exact things. Well, what ended up happening was, when I was making these videos, people were sharing my stuff, okay? So it was like I get like 20,000 views or 10,000, 15,000 views, and on Dave Rubin, when he freaking retweeted one of my tweets, I freaked out because my Twitter went freaking nuts, and I had 30,000 people watching a small video. But anyway, it was like, what's really going on? Well, these platforms were acting as means and methods to guard people from seeing the truth and from having a different viewpoint. And Tim Pool actually talks about this, where there's going to be a set of people who are going to believe one thing, and another, like, actually, let me dive deeper. There'll be a set of people who are looking for real truth, who are going to be asking real questions, and are going to be understanding what's really going on, because they're watching and witnessing a different media that's telling a different story from what's being broadcast on the mainstream. Then there'll be another set of people who are watching a censored set in a group of news broadcasts that aren't actually telling the truth. They're telling a kind of watered down version of it, because they don't want people to know what's happening in these other aspects of what's happening in our nation, okay? So you have one group of people who's like seeking real truth, and another group of people who like are not really being exposed to the truth. They're being exposed to a narrative. And when that narrative, it blows up, you're talking about people losing their minds because they've been lied to for so long about these issues and these topics that they think they know the truth about, but they're calling, the whole term fake news was coined because people didn't know that we were not getting news. We were getting a story, and a story that was supposed to drive a narrative. So that's what's happening here. But let me get into omission and commission. See, I had a mentor back, a couple of years ago, a few years ago, who would always talk about the sins of omission and commission, and I actually had to let him go as a mentor because there was some stuff that I knew I just didn't want to expose him to that. So I didn't know, it's really kind of sad, but that's actually what happened. But anyway, when you omit something, it means that you know the truth about something, or you know facts about something, or you know a real situation, and you keep that to yourself. So that's a sin of omission, and you don't do what you're supposed to do. The sin of commission is where you actually know you shouldn't be doing something, but you do it anyway. Okay, so and that's not just of deed, but it's actually thought and a heart, the stuff that goes on with inside of you. And that's like omission and commission. The same thing is not just about what you do, but it's also about what you don't do. It's about what you should have done. Okay, so that's actually what that actually is. Okay, now right now, I didn't want to keep you in the dark about what I was seeing, which was why people were sort of watching other avenues of information. They were just seeking out information. So you in your heart, you were trying to find out what was going on. And when that was happening, you weren't realizing that you were being silenced. You were being shadowed. You were being throttled. You didn't know that. So there are people out there who are making you a person. They're basically turning you into a person that cannot speak the truth, that cannot speak and find out what's going on in the world. So what does this have to do with today? Well, if you look at the Patrice Cullors, I'm going to post the link to the New York Post article from Patrice Cullors, she basically affirmed everything that I said in the summertime. This whole thing was a political move by BLM to get people to donate to their movement and Antifa to donate to their movement, to move people in the direction of the Democrat Party. That's why when I posted the thing about BLM's website, their actblue donation page, I got in all kinds of trouble with supposed black leaders, especially black leaders and Mexican leaders and white leaders within the church, because I was saying something that, of course, was not true. Well, it turns out it was true, because she admits it. Their whole movement was about moving people toward BLM, moving people toward the Democrat Party. That's the whole thing was a political ploy. I said that. Other people were saying that. Now she confirmed it. The Marxist socialist confirmed it. This woman who is a complete freaking witch, who, yes, is involved in witchcraft, confirmed it. These people have been involved in things that are nefarious from the beginning. And we've been saying that. And now she confirmed it. And you can go into the New York Post, you can look it up yourself and see exactly what I'm talking about. But you gotta understand this, okay? When the Antifa website was going to the Biden-Harris campaign, that's their people. When the BLM website was leading you to act blue for the Democrat Party, that's their people. These people who are destroying cities, who are killing people, who are killing babies. And dude, when that little white kid got blasted by that black dude, and they had all these supposed black leaders going out there saying that, we're going to support this guy, or the black guy that got shot by those cops in Wisconsin. It's like, this dude's a freaking sex thing. He's a sexual predator, and we're going to go support this guy and put that dude on football helmets? I don't think so. So this is what these people have been this whole time, and this is why people like me, who were called coons and niggers and white niggers and all that kind of stuff, it's like we were called all these things, but we were telling the truth about what was happening. Now you in all of this, you get to decide what you believe. And if you're finding out that there's stories out there that you're not hearing about, like what happened in DC with these BLM folks attacking people. I mean, you had a black family get attacked with their kids. They're getting attacked by these crazy ass freaking black people who are trying to hurt them, intimidate them, and come at them hella hard. You gotta understand, you're not gonna see these things on the mainstream media because they don't want you to see those things. They don't want you to know the story. So if you're not seeing these things happen and popping up on your feeds, you gotta understand you're not going to see those stories because the mainstream media doesn't want you to know that these things are out there. So you have to actually go looking for it for yourself. You have to. That's what I did. I was like, dude, something's wrong. But again, like I said before, and there's some things that I think are brewing right now that we're gonna really kind of have to get ready for. But I'll get off of that. But you gotta understand, we're watching the deterioration of our freedoms because people want to control you. This woman wanted to control black people as a black woman. She wants to control the narrative of black people. Some of you out there who are watching this, you wanted to control me. You wanted to control what I said because I'm a black guy, not abiding by your supposed black narrative. Because you are for the black story, when no, you're not. You're about black control. You want to control black people. You want to control what black people see, what black people hear, and what black people think. That's actually what you want. And I understand that. I'm not mad at you about it, because if you have the power to do so, and you think that you can throttle me in that way, hey, go for it, man. But you understand, though, you've proven yourself who you are. When I have supposedly my friends calling me all kinds of crap, I knew they weren't my friends. They were just people that were there for my life for a certain period of time. They won't be my friends ever again. Okay, that's who they are. But that's what this is, because the people on TV, they want to control. This is all a control thing. These people have control issues, and they want things their way for what their purposes are, for their narratives, for whatever. But you as a person on the couch, you get to make your decision about what you believe. But you have to go find it, because if you don't, you're going to get led astray by these people who say that they have your best interests at heart. BLM does not have the best interests for black people at heart. They have a political movement for communism and a Marxism that is nowhere near my ideology religiously, politically, socially, or any of that. None of it. But you get to decide on your own what you believe, because believe me, you will become a victim of them at some point in time. And don't let their anachronisms about we're supposedly in line with MLK and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and stuff like that. They're anachronisms. It's not true. Just understand that, okay? Be safe on the street and know that there's a whole lot of things happening behind the scenes right now that are going to be a detriment to you and me.